Hello everyone, welcome to the Cinéaste Cinema Club. I'm your host, Mickey P, 33, and this is a book club for cinephiles where we watch, discuss, and review all things movies. So if that's something you like to do, this is the show for you. Now, if this is your first time here, let me explain how things go. The show will consist of 2 segments. In the first part of the show, we do a mini spoiler-free review where we provide you with some interesting factoids about the film, and then we share our first impressions and overall thoughts and opinions. In part 2, we critique the film by going into the pros and cons based on our grading criteria, right over here, and then we share our final thoughts and rate the film. If you watch our live show on Twitch, we do a similar format, except at the end, we have our viewer interaction part, where you can discuss the movie in real time with me and share your thoughts and opinions on the film. Reviews will be posted to my YouTube channel every Friday at noon, and I'll be hosting the live show on my Twitch channel every Saturday at noon. If you want to know every time the review is out and when the live show starts, you can follow Mickey P33 on YouTube and Twitch. And if you want to join the Cinema Club and show your support, all you have to do is follow Cinéaste Cinema Club on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. There, you'll be able to suggest and vote on what movies we decide to watch, review, and discuss. We also keep you up to date with the latest movie news. And for you audio-only listeners, we're on Spotify and Google Podcasts and anywhere else you get your podcast content. Just search Cinéaste Cinema Club. As you'll know, with every review, we start off with a non-spoiler review. And as they say, the game is afoot. And that, ladies and gents, is my segue into today's review, Enola Holmes. The film is about the titular character of Enola Holmes, who is a confident, witty, independent, and cunning young woman who, on her 16th birthday, finds that her mother has gone missing. Now, while investigating her mother's disappearance, she unravels a dangerous conspiracy involving a young lord and using her innate talents and skills as she learns the ropes of becoming a capable detective, with a little guidance from her older brother, Sherlock. As a reviewer from the New York Times says, on the surface, the film is about a young woman in search of herself, but at its core, the film addresses issues of family bonds and the risks of changing a world determined to stay the same. The film stars Millie Bobby Brown as Enola Holmes, alongside Henry Cavill, Sam Claflin, Helena Bonham Carter, and Louis Partridge. Netflix released the film on September 23rd and is classified as a mystery film based off of the young adult book series, The Enola Holmes Mysteries, written by Nancy Springer. This is Millie Bobby Brown's first project as a producer, as she and her sister read the novels and wanted to turn it into a film. And what a brilliant little film they made with the help of 2-time Emmy director winner Harry Bradbeer and 3-time BAFTA screenwriter winner Jack Thorne. I thoroughly enjoyed Enola Holmes. The film has heart, action, a sense of adventure, suspense, mystery, and it's just an overall fun time. From the start, you hit the ground running by being introduced to young Enola and the world she lives in. The style, art direction, and the film was amazing. When she tells her story, she uses little cutout letters and animated pictures to give it a puppet-like quality. And another big part of the style of the film is that Enola breaks the fourth wall and quite often makes witty comments or just gives little glances to the camera. And this is usually a very difficult thing to pull off, but because Millie is so charismatic, it works well. This film showcases Millie's immense talents, as it shows her wide range of emotions and shows us that, as Enola, she's going to be a role model as a powerful young woman for the next generation. Now, the action and the fight choreography of the film is well done and well edited. Millie shows us how talented she is with all the stunts and fighting sequences she does in the film. In a behind-the-scenes look, she says that she did a majority of the fight sequences all on her own. This film is so colorful and charming compared to recent adaptations of Sherlock stories. Now, Sherlock is my favorite character in literature, so I was highly looking forward to watching this film, even though he had a minor role in the film. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal in Guy Ritchie's Sherlock films, and especially the BBC's adaptation with Benedict Cumberbatch, written by the great Stephen Moffat. That one is my all-time favorite portrayal of Sherlock. But in this film, Henry Cavill plays a less jaded version of Sherlock, who, because he's at the start of his career, shows a softer, caring, and more emotional side to the consulting detective. Now, the core of the film revolves around Enola's relationship with her family. It does a great job showing the personal relationships between Enola and her brothers, the young Lord Tewkesbury, and especially her mother. The film spends the majority of Act 1 focusing on the relationship between Enola and her mother Eudora, played by Helena Bonham Carter. The relationship is so tender and endearing that, as a viewer, you feel the love and the bond the two have for each other. Then as we move into Act 2, we are introduced to the young Viscount Tewkesbury, the Marquess of Basilweather, played by Louis Partridge. And the chemistry between Brown and Partridge works so well to give the viewers a sense of the close bond that the two develop over the course of the film. Even with a 123-minute runtime, the film is very well paced, and Act 1 seems to fly by as you get into the heart of the mystery in Act 2. And by the end of the film, you don't even realize that 2 hours have passed, and you kind of end up wanting more. There aren't really any cons that stand out to me, besides a few CGI scenes that were a little janky and took me out of the moment for a little bit, but that's really just me grasping at straws for trying to find any cons. I highly recommend this film to anyone and everyone because I loved everything about it, from the story to its style to the magnificent acting and its unique take on the Sherlock universe. The film is a breath of fresh air, and I had so much fun watching Enola Holmes. This is a great movie for the family and anyone who loves the mystery genre, or who wants to have a good time in general. The young adult series has a total of 6 books, so here's to hoping that they adapt the rest of the novels into sequels. Enola Holmes is available on Netflix now, so go watch it and then you can join us for part 2. In part 2, we do a deep dive into what I think the film does well and what the film could have improved on. So from here on out, we are headed into spoiler territory. So if you haven't seen the film yet, turn back now. Seriously, go watch it on Netflix. Really, it's so good. And then come back and watch my breakdown of the film. Now with that being said, let's begin on to part 2. Alright, now we can get into the nitty-gritty and talk some spoilers. There isn't much to talk about here since part 1 touched on a lot of the criteria without any spoilers, but here's a few things that I haven't addressed yet. 1, the villain Linthorn, played by Bern Gorman, who I knew from the Doctor Who spin-off series Torchwood, did a decent job as the villain. We didn't get much backstory, but I did find him terrifying in a couple scenes. Now, every good mystery film, of course, has a twist. It's the most essential part of the film. And in this film, the twist on the mastermind being the grandmother was a bit underwhelming because we didn't really get really deep motivations onto why she would go through such lengths to kill Tewkesbury and his father. Plus, when they hinted at it being the uncle, it really didn't fool me because it's as Dwight Schrute says, it's never the person you most suspect, it's also never the person you least suspect, since anyone with half a brain would suspect them the most. So we knew it wasn't him, and he was just a decoy to throw the viewer off the trail to the real mastermind. Let's talk about character development and interpersonal relationships in the film again. The ones between Enola and the other characters of the film were done so well. The subplot of her budding romance with Tewkesbury was just so cute in a way that they made it awkward as young love usually is. It was just so adorable. And I usually cringe at love story subplots. But in this case, it kind of wasn't a love story because yes, they have feelings for each other, but at the same time, she's independent and doesn't really seem to be looking for a boyfriend. But he for sure has become a friend to her and someone she truly and deeply cares about. As mentioned in part 1, the action choreography was very well done. Millie did a majority of the fighting scenes, and they were edited in a way that shows that the actors knew the fighting sequences, and they didn't hide that by using fast and quick cuts in the edit. In this film, we also get to see a different take on Mycroft Holmes, played by Sam Claflin. He plays a more emotional eldest brother, with all the yelling he does to poor Enola. Overall, I thoroughly loved and enjoyed this film. And you can see that with all the talent that they have behind the camera, what you can do with a film. With a 2-time Emmy winner in the director and a 3-time BAFTA winner in the screenwriter, you can see that they clearly had a style and direction they wanted this film to go in, and that they were able to adapt the novel from the page to screen very well. And it was very well done. I just love the style of this film so much, and it really shows that it comes from the direction from the director Brad Beer. And it's because he worked on a show called Fleabag, which he won his 2 Emmys for, and that show has a very similar style to here as far as the breaking the fourth wall, that style and the witty remarks that the main character has. And it's a really good show, so if you haven't seen it yet, go check that out. As this review comes to a close, we finish up with every review with what I think the most important category is, which is rewatchability. So, would I rewatch this film? Hell yeah. As a matter of fact, I've already seen it a 2nd time with my family because of how much I enjoyed the film. And to be honest, I'll definitely be watching it at least a few more times because of how much fun I have. So with that being said, here are my final scores for each category, and that brings my total final score for Enola Holmes to a 9 out of 10. So, what did you think about Enola Holmes? Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Alright everyone, if you've made it this far, thank you all so much for watching and supporting the show. It really means a lot to me. Remember, you can join the Cinéaste Cinema Club and stay up to date with what movies we're reviewing. All you have to do is follow Cinéaste Cinema Club on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, where you can suggest and vote on what movies we watch and stay informed with the latest movie news. Also, don't forget, come watch the reviews every Friday and Saturday on YouTube and twitch.tv at MickeyP33. There you can share your thoughts and discuss the film with me. And don't forget to listen to the audio-only podcast version on Spotify and wherever else you get your podcasts by searching Cinéaste Cinema Club. Again, all social media links are shown throughout the video and are also in the description links below. Let me know what you liked or disliked about the show and how I can make it better. If you like the reviews, please share the show with your friends and give us a thumbs up. And subscribe to get more movie news. So tune in next week for another review by me, Mickey P. 33.